Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cactus Patch. I am your host, Glitch Cactus, but you can call me Cactus. And today we are back once again to talk about the Splat World Series, finally post-event. And who better to talk with for such an amazing event than the head of the creation of the event and also of production, Xi and Ely. How are both of y'all doing today?
I'm doing good.
That's
I thought you
great.
were saying more than
I'm
that.
so
Yeah,
glad.
I mean,
That's not the best way to put it, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's not really. It's like I'm good. I'm super tired. Production was a real pain for the whole event, but feeling very fulfilled and now resting, wrapping up the event. So all good on my part.
Nice. Well, I'm glad both of you are doing well. And obviously, thank you both for being here today. What we'll do is, first, of course, the kind of an introduction stage. So, for those that maybe don't know who either of you are, we'll start with Z first. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Z, former comp Splatoon player, semi-retired, who now does TOing stuff for Under Pressure and now IPL.
And hi, I'm Ellie. I am the prod lead for the Specfield series. I don't know. I had TO for SAC. I guess I'm head for FTIU, but I'm kind of like carried by Z there. I own Under Pressure. I don't know. I'm kind of everywhere, but most things are just like SAC and SWS right now.
Very nice, right? So you both kind of dabble a little bit, or dabble a little bit in the
Kind of what?
the pun not
Say
intended.
that again? Say that again?
Dabble, dabble with
There we
B's,
go.
not P's. um, in the definitely in the well-known in the tournament fields for similar events. Obviously had to come from somewhere. So how about talk a little about how you got into Splatoon in the first place? What was kind of like that opening door that like I want to play that game or do something with that game?
Z, you want to go?
Yeah, I can go. I got in around during like launch of Splatoon 1 because guys, there's a Nintendo shooter game. Let me get into that.
It's fair.
Played that casually, played a bit of 2, but not really. And then I started comp in 3 because I got to S and S or S plus in S1,
Mhm.
and considered myself pretty good at the game. Um, for like staffing, I got into staffing to get back to the tournaments I like participating in, and then I joined Under Pressure in late September 2024.
Awesome. So you've kind of been in like a day one rep of the game. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, and then I took like a 5-year break from the game, and then came to S3 in like mid late 2023, and then only started getting like really active into the community in 2024.
Honestly,
So
sometimes the hiatus is good. Sometimes you just need that break, especially with what the comp scene I guess was like towards the end of S2. It's not just the meta. Okay,
I
awesome.
don't know.
What about you, Ellie?
Like, yeah, I was gonna say the comp scene at the end of S2. Like for me, not that bad. That's about when I started. Like, I can't talk about when started playing Splatoon myself because I was like 9 or 10, and I don't remember a thing. I hadn't gained consciousness yet. So
So fair.
I, at some point, also did the same thing. Like I took like a 5-year break, kind of. But at some point, I just like regained the memory. Oh, I used to play this thing like sitting in front of the TV when I was like 9, and then I decided to buy Splatoon 2 with like 3 months left in service before Splatoon 3 for whatever reason. Um, Stupid purchase, but that's when I started comp. So like July, August 2022. Um, no, it's kind of funny the way I got into comp and TOing whatever. It was by accident, completely by accident. I didn't know what any of the comp stuff was.
Mhm.
Like I joined an artist server off of Twitter, I think. Oh no, it was Oh no. I think they used to go by MenMapsy. But I joined their server and that was like the first like overtime server. And I was doing VODs, helping the team like record their scrims or whatever. And then they played their first tournament, which is FTIU, funnily enough. That's how I got into there. I'm like, can I join their lobby and spectate their tournament matches? And for obvious reason, they said, hell no, get out. But you can stream our tournament. and I didn't know what that was, but I was like, okay. And I started streaming the tournaments, started managing the tournament streams, whatever, and then I somehow ended up TRing. So all the happy little accident.
Well, it's so funny how it just kind of goes from a want to then like, you know what? Yeah, like why don't you just join a board? Like,
No, it was really dumb because I was like, um, they were like, no, sorry, only a streamer can join the lobbies to, watch those matches. I'm like, okay, how do I become a streamer? And then, I don't know, something happened there.
hey, sometimes the best, the most like, I guess inspiring ways of like getting to do what you love is just sometimes by accident, and it's really cool that like it went from just like wanting to hop into see the games to being able to like be like a part of the production side of things to show people the game. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. And then, somehow I started, like, my first thing was FTIU. My
Mhm.
immediate next thing was Proving Grounds for IPL. So
So the immediate leap.
it was a huge jump. And then immediately after that was the TV Resurgence League. So I don't know how the hell I got there, but it's been a process.
I guess your spec cam work is just that goated. I mean, the instant like, yeah, you know what, this is great. You want to do these big major events now?
I could go on a tangent about Ink TV, but yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. It was still amazing to have that on a resume, honestly. So what about favorite and maybe not so favorite moments when it comes to staffing and producing, or just overall just that kind of behind the scenes work? Because you both have had quite the experience in it, from different perspectives and different tasking. So like, take us a little bit into like the things you like and don't like about the job slash hobby, of course.
I gotta go first. Old ass bitch, gotta be my number one all timer. Um, so this is both my favorite and least favorite moment from TOing. But someone came into help desk complaining about squid bagging during FTIU, and they were calling Toma an old ass bitch. That's been an all time for me.
I love it.
The funny help desks are also always the best. I got recently. This was and recently is important here. I got a help desk asking if double Zuka was allowed in FTIU. That was
Oh.
fun. Uh, Having to explain, no, we haven't banned double Zuka ever in FTIU, and nor are we gonna do it now.
Oh gosh, I forgot all about that era, that period of time where we where we really were considering banning multi-use specials. Oh my.
I think we should have.
It might have been nice too, but who knows honestly. I
I I can chime in on this. So I remember like back then I helped out Chara on his like, theory. He did a little tournament called a special tournament, and
Mhm.
like it developed its own meta. I feel like tournaments where you ban a little something that's unpleasant, it creates for something really fun. Like Lemon Cider, they did their birthday bash where they forced you to play V Heavy, which effectively banned Pen, and that was like a really good time as well.
Okay, yeah, you know what? If you, I guess if you really think about it from that point, it kind of forces you to play different weapons that maybe you wouldn't normally want to bring forward and kind of like expand the horizon a bit, of your comps, so that way you can't just quote unquote be a slave to the meta.
Yeah, like bans always create a new meta, and I feel like watching that develop as the tournament progresses was always like a cool experience.
What about
Oh,
not so favorite moments? So those seem like some pretty fun moments, being able to deal with like silly help desk things. So what about like the moments where you're like, I don't know how to do this anymore?
Zia, I'll let you
I
go
mean,
first. Now you think about this.
yeah. The help desk moments where you have to go into this long chat with the player and just trying to avoid big drama is
Mhm.
like the worst. Um, just calming everyone down and it's not fun.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
Having to
imagine that's
me
pretty
explain the
stressful.
rules are the rules.
Mhm.
Uh, Not
I
fun.
feel like my answer in a
Luckily,
similar
that's
vein.
rare. That's rare though. That we need to
Yeah,
do
no,
that.
like I feel most people are like pretty civil, and it's like we're all volunteers doing shit for funny Squid Games, so
Mhm.
People are pretty nice too. My least favorite thing is help desk, but it's not like help desk. It's when anyone asks me about bracket. I cannot explain Swiss for the life of me, despite being ahead of like big events. What the hell is Swiss? I'm not Glimp around. So, you why did this tiebreaker happen? I don't know. I defer to Cinder. Not my problem. My my least favorite moment personally from my perspective, but it's really funny from the outside, is that Ink TV Resurgence League tangent that I was gonna go on earlier. But there's time because I was brought on for observing as as streaming some of the I was near the stream, but they were just getting my cam feed.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was on yet. I was not meant to be on. The previous set ended early. I didn't know I was on a rolling schedule. They pinged me like 12 times. Yeah, where the fuck are you? And I was there streaming myself playing Skyward Sword, and it was the most humiliating shit ever.
Oh my God.
Hold on, I have a screenshot too.
Please tell me they came into your chat and were like, "Where are
No,
you?"
it was a private stream.
Oh,
It was through the RTN feed.
okay.
So no one else knows.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that is incredible. I mean,
Um,
at the time, it must have been super stressful, but it's it's crazy.
it wasn't stressful. I went in, I did the job right, whatever. Just mortifying. Pulling up a screenshot, so feel free to carry me on.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, common theme obviously seems to just be help desk, which is honestly so valid and so fair, and I feel like that's like any or most TOs kind of like riser kind of reason that I can't English tonight. This is great. Just any reason to like or dislike, because it just it can come forth the funniest moments or the most stressful. For the kind of production side of things, right? Obviously we'll break more into like the nitty gritty once we start exploring more into Splat World Series. But I guess maybe just the wider picture. Are there any parts where it's just like you like a part of the job that you're doing that you just really enjoy, whether it's like the finished product, the process, the people, and I guess you could also say vice versa for like the not so favorite parts, right? Things that are just like, this is stressing me out for the next week, and until it's over, I will not be able to relax.
So you want to go?
You can go first.
Sure. My favorite thing is like getting to create new shit. Like obviously people have opinions about SAC finals and they're not wrong, but like getting to make those two stat scenes was very cool to me. Like being able to invent and push the bounds of what already exists is always my favorite shit about any tournament ever.
Yeah, for me on the staffing side, it's just having new ideas and being able to like make them realities. Just having new creative events that have more meaning than just a badge at the end is really something I'm passionate about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You kind of get to create the memory of it, right? You kind of like get to create something that's unique, that's going to bring forth a really exciting experience that people not only playing but also being able to watch are going to be able to remember and want to kind of feed that, or grab that hunger for, of like, this is really cool. If it happens again in the future, I'm definitely keeping my eye out.
Yeah, I feel like like an aspect of CO side that I really like to focus on is how it feels as a player. Like I had the pleasure of being IPL versus the coolest
Oh
shit I've ever been
yeah.
able to do. Like there is no experience that comes close to that besides like low ink alpha bracket. Like you don't get that kind of rush. So with like SAC, I made those team trailers. Not well, I didn't make all them. Season 9 I did. Season 10 I got lots of help from our staff team. But regardless, like the intention of that was I was thinking, as a team, I think I'd feel so cool if I had, a whole spotlight about me. That's what I want to do. We won't be continuing in its current state. We'll do something different, probably more similar to Flat World Series. Less interviews. That was a pain, but regardless, it's just like prioritizing how the player feels as well, not just how it looks.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it's kind of like it's back to back helping hands, right? Obviously, you need an event, like players need an event to play in, and you need players to play in the event that you're able to create. So by doing that kind of like extra mile to really make it feel like something special, it really incentivizes those players to kind of be like, this is like a really cool event. I'm glad I'm entering it, or I'm glad I did, and I'm definitely want to put time aside that if it does come forth next, cycle around and really hone in on being able to have this happen again.
Yeah, like I think the players are a very important part of the production. Like, there's nothing for us to do without our players, so we got to treat them right, and that's why I always try to be very extra. I sent a screenshot of what I was talking about earlier if you want to throw it on stream, but that is probably my worst memory as a producer.
No, absolutely. We are so gonna throw this on stream. Hold on.
My other worst moment was my first Improving Ground stream. I didn't know what an audio track was in OBS, and I had the commentators unticked, so I was like, all right, 9, all right, Shiny Hunter Zach, go, let's talk. And then I told them to start talking, and then no one told me for the next 15 minutes that no one could hear them, and just as bad as this.
There it is. I tossed it over my guy on the stream so y'all could see the amazing pings. I love that you're like didn't have pings on and just the ominous
Turn them on. I've never felt more embarrassed. Hello, Punchy.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Okay. So now to dive deep into the topic I'm sure we're all excited to hear about. Splat World Series. Let's start from the very beginning because I know I'm super excited to hear about it. Let's talk about the theory crafting for this event even becoming a thing. Where does the idea come from? Let's take me to the thought bubble at the very beginning.
You got that.
Yeah. So this first part comes after I took like a month-long break from social media. And then I come back, and then SAC Season 10 gets announced. And I'm like, okay, what? And then I start brainstorming what a top-level circuit would look like. And back then, I was really into Rainbow Six Siege competitive, and they have an event series called the Element Series, which is their Tier 2 event. Because their Tier 1 is a whole league with majors and stuff, and obviously that's not feasible for top level at the moment. But the basic idea was open qualifiers and that led into a finale. They also have a wildcard system, which we were gonna do, but that got scrapped for what you know now is getting 8 Japanese teams involved. So, yeah. So the main, I guess, direction was, if you're a top player, you only have to play in like 2 to 3 events together. Like it's still pickup friendly, sort of. But it also promotes like getting consistent pickups, and like you can actually have teams and do a lot of different production stuff. So I thought it was really a nice balance and compromise between what top level wants and what the spectators want. Then I reached out to Chara and Bluekin, the latter being the TO of Fry Basket, for help, and we talked about some stuff. There's going to be a Swiss stage that I had for the top cut, and then that got scrapped because less days of doing stuff, the better. And then it got brought into the Under Pressure staff server. And eventually we had to make a whole channel because all I would talk about in the heads chat is this idea I had. And the initial plan was to do it through Up or go independent. But then it was actually Strings who brought up getting IPL involved. And then we came to the conclusion that, we don't have the resources at the moment to support this huge idea. So then we tried to DM what was then the Proving Ground staff. And I'm pretty sure they're still like technically Proving Ground staff, but it's most of them are now Splat World Series staff.
Yeah.
So I go ahead one random April morning. I go I go, hello, good morning to Pop Gun, and I detail everything about this event, including a whole doc,
Mhm.
detailing what I wanted. Um, and I get no answer for like a good like or no good like concrete answer like yes we're gonna do this for like 2 to 3 weeks.
Mhm.
But eventually I get invited to the IPL staff server and we start discussing stuff.
No,
Um,
so I'm sorry to cut you off. Um,
yeah, go ahead.
the part that we're missing is like I've been Premier Ground staff since like 2022, so I was able to like watch everything that they were saying, and we were like kind of like watch partying the responses in under pressure heads, just like are they gonna go for it? There's just 2 3 weeks of us like wondering what was going to go on, and like me allegedly leaking the things I shouldn't be. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get to we start thinking like how are we going to get top level to participate, and I think it was Pop Gun eventually brought up the idea of getting Area Cup involved because they have the global account,
Mhm.
um, and we can contact through them. And then um, we start the DMing Area Cup global account saga, where basically every night at like 11 p.m. we all huddle in the in one of the text channels, just waiting for a response from them. They'd send us like 5 paragraph messages all in one DM, and we'd have to um, basically problem solve with them for like what was a good like week.
Mhm.
Just sending big, like huge texts back and forth. Um, that was fun.
We were all
Um,
wondering what to say. And we learned later that the person on the other side of the account is in the chat right now. It was Roy who was talking to us the
yeah.
whole time.
Um, so yeah, they share mutual interest in running the event, and then thankfully they joined the IPL staff server, and we have much smoother communication from there.
Nice. So this it's so fun to hear like the stages this went through from like do we do it ourselves to then what if like we went larger?
Yeah.
So okay, so because that was one of the next up questions I did have was kind of how it went with communicating with the area cup staff. So did was there like the person you guys were talking to was they like was it one thing I did have was like was there any like strong like language barrier issues at all or was it
No,
all pretty like
No.
straightforward?
no,
Thank you,
Roy.
Roy.
Yeah,
Thank you,
no,
Roy.
Roy was the rep that we primarily communicated with, and
Yeah.
I know that they were like, oh, my English is not that good. Their English is so good, like
Hmm.
there was no trouble with them at all.
Oh,
It was such a wonderful
nice.
Yeah.
experience.
That's really good to hear because I feel like because I know there's a couple people in the community that have like wanted to do something I want to say similar to this event, but like to the extent of bringing JP players to go against the Western team, right? And one of the biggest things to think about was, of course, that language barrier. So it's really cool to hear that there was someone that you all could count on that was able to feed the information back and forth, and it was like practically crystal clear. You had no issues. Um, Communicating your thoughts and getting their thoughts and being able to create pretty much what it became, right? I didn't write it down, but I do have to ask, where did the name Splat World Series come from? Like how did we get
Um.
to that? What were
Oh,
what were
Oh
like
God.
what were the names that didn't make it? Like how did we get
we
We don't
were
have to.
no, we can, we will. We were this close to being
No.
called like the Coronation Cup. Hell no.
No. Yeah. It was we were really like struggling for a name, and
Mhm.
then the area cup people were like, "What about the Splat Global Series?" And then I went, "How about the World Series, the Splat World Series?" And they were like, "Perfect."
Boom.
And
That was it.
and then boom, the name stuck.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
actually I feel like it's like the simplest way it became, but I totally get the stress of like we have a great idea, this great event. What do we call it?
Yeah.
It's like that's such a factor I feel like no one ever considers when making events is like coming up with like a really solid name that really signifies what this event's about.
Hmm.
So you did mention briefly that there was the talk of timing, right? And I mean, not only are you thinking timing for the Western scene, but also the JP scene, right? It's got to be a time that works for them. So kind of take me a little bit how you really were able to select that prime time during this summer. That was like that's definitely the time that's going to end up working for everybody.
We got very lucky with the timing. Like we
Okay.
wanted to get this out ASAP after SAC, and then once SJ got announced or Super Jump got announced,
Mhm.
uh, then we kind of pushed it back a bit. Um, so we had to get the dates like locked in as soon as possible, and that's partially why the teaser came out, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
Um, but we just
Oh,
got very
why?
lucky.
Yeah,
I
luck's
would
like
say
a
it's
big
why
part
this
of it.
came out, but that was their
Mhm.
intention, like lock that shit down. But
Yeah.
it wasn't, I wanted that thing anyways.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you have a goal set in mind too, right? Like you want to be able to have it sooner than later, especially with the if you really think about it, you do have 2 to 3 months max of like for any of the players out there, because obviously our scene's got primarily younger players, like that's not school related, work related, like the timing is a little bit more open. Obviously it's the summer, so everyone's trying to, have some kind of great event, or people that are just making their own events now. That I feel like popping up left and right. So you want to have the highest chance of that event performing its best with the best of the best.
Definitely.
What was it like deciding how teams would qualify? Because I feel like there's like, of course, most events you have like either just the one big event, or you like, of course, the way we saw it become, which was like qualifiers, and then the addition of Super Jump too. So like, take me a little bit how that deciding went. Like, what was the talks of like, here's how we will have these 8 teams decided.
We basically knew we wanted well, of course we wanted 8 teams, but deciding it was pretty simple. Like we knew we wanted some sort of super jump qualification,
Mhm.
um, just to boost their numbers a bit and hopefully get more top level involved.
Yeah.
And then for the other two qualifiers, it was just the remaining 4 teams, so we just split it evenly. It was always we always decided like on or we had it pretty much locked in that we'd have 2 qualifiers
Okay.
um, plus then super jump on top of that. So
Now,
we
was
just
the deciding for like the JP teams any part on your end, or was it just like, hey, just try to have 8 teams qualified somehow?
so with Nintendo's guidelines, which we have to follow
Hmm.
because Japan is very strict about them
Yeah.
compared to the West. They can't explicitly run a qualifier, but they said um, we're gonna invite teams from Crown
Okay.
so that because that technically wasn't a qualifier, it's apparently okay for them to do so. So
Okay.
that worked with us. And then for the teams that didn't want to play in SWS for whatever reason, they just picked teams
Okay.
area up
Nice.
did.
Okay, that makes I feel like that makes sense. And I completely forgot that's even a factor to have to like consider is the guidelines, especially in Japan, with how much larger their player base is and how much further along in a sense like their scene is, considering how popular Splatoon is over there. So that's actually really cool to know that how those those teams were chosen. I mean, obviously we saw how they were all performed during the weekend just previous. So no lack of talent regardless across any
Yeah,
any portion of it. Truly just monsters across all levels.
I remember when we got like the first like I forget how many teams we got initially, but it was like 2 to 4, and we just saw the names and we're like, oh, this is it's really on.
I saw lobster is over.
It's lobster, it's over. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, what was kind of that like as like the teams kind of with like did all the list of teams all come funneling at once, or was it like
No.
periodically it was like here's this team, here's this team, here's this team?
Yeah, we were confirming teams like as things went. I say we, it was their staff, but
Mm.
we didn't have the information and we were just getting things like as it went. Like um it just bled into like the trailer creation as well, which is why we did like 2 Japanese teams, 2 Western teams, 2 Japanese teams, 2 Western teams, because we were still figuring out who the rest of the competitors were going to be.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. So you were able to play pretty consistent where it's like, okay, these are the teams. All right, here's what we need, and here's what we're gonna be able to put out, and then we'll just pretty much get it produced as soon as we find out who's playing.
Most of it was on like the day before the announcement. Like I knew of like the Invincible Fleet from pretty much the jump, but
Mhm.
I did theirs like way later in the cycle.
Yeah. Okay, got you. So the event itself was set up using Sendu, which of course on the Western scene, that's I figure at this point kind of normal, right? Sendu is such a large staple for hosting events. But when it came to having the JP teams use the site, were there any concerns about how that was gonna go?
Uh, there was like a bit. I guess like the main thing we were so happy about is we didn't have to use Google Sheets to run the whole tournament. We showed them Sendu.inc, and they were like, "Oh wow, this site is really cool."
Hmm.
And then they were agreed to run it on there, and we just breathed a sigh of relief, just like, "Oh yes, thank you."
Oh, wonderful.
Um,
That's good to hear because I can imagine like, I can only imagine like the stress of being like, shoot, they don't like it. Now we have to use this.
yeah.
I think we could have made do with shoots, but it was very nice that they were willing to accommodate us.
Mhm.
And like there was a little bit of confusion. I made a video and I think Z wrote a little bit about it, but I think it's pretty easy to express to like grasp on their end, and they used it just fine. So it's been a big win for us.
Yeah, I mean, from especially what we saw, I mean, like I don't think really any games felt like they were held up at all. So it was really cool to um kind of I guess see that kind of that smooth process really moving along.
No, quite honestly, I was the one holding up games. They were like, I was like, all right, I'm waiting for an invite, and then they send me a big long link to Splat, and I'm okay, we're doing this again.
Oh yeah.
It's been like a bad minute since I've done that, and I was used to it, so I was like, all right, I'm trying to join the room, and like I think losers finals was held by like 5 minutes because I couldn't figure it out. Oops.
Oh, I forgot that was even a feature. Oh my
It's
goodness.
really nice though. It's so convenient. They are right, and we should do it more.
Honestly, so how does it work? Take because I feel like I don't think I've ever used it. Is it like you just click it on your phone, or is there like
Yeah.
okay, and it just
It goes
processes
through the
through the
phone app.
game?
Yeah, no, no. It goes through the phone app, but you can use a computer app, something like NX APIs. I used to do this, like when I was on the team way back when. I would use these links as well. No one would use
Hmm.
them; they just run off the pool. But still, I would submit these links, and you'd either use it like send it to your phone, or you would just use NX API, something of the sort, and then that would just like prompt you to join a room on the app. Once you press join room on the app, then just in your private battles at the very top, there's this like big bar, like here's your splat room, it's ready, and then you just join. It's easy.
Oh wow, wait that's so much easier. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm saying we gotta kill pools.
Honestly, like the issues that a lot of players will have, where it's like I don't see the pool. Like you gotta like go
Yeah,
back, turn it back off, rehost it, make sure you're sending invites over and over, make sure everyone's got like if no one else, some people don't want to join the pool, so they gotta add the friend codes of other people. It's just yeah, it's fun. That makes it so much easier. Wow.
yeah. The one drawback though is the Nintendo Switch app is not available for certain countries, which is the only reason why I'm
Oh,
not saying
okay.
like, oh, it should be across the board, the only thing that we use.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people just can't
yeah,
get it, and can't
yeah.
really control that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But for the ones that can, like, it's kind of a lifesaver.
Yeah, totally. It was very convenient. Once I figured it out, that is.
Yeah. No, that's all good. So I want to dive deep into a little bit here from the production standpoint. the advertising. Like that, I still remember the excitement I felt of when it was like, here's the trailer of the trailer. It's like, ooh, what's happening? They had to wait like a week and a half or 2 weeks for it. I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And then the trailer, and then there's just yada yada. It's just the snowball of
Yeah.
everything coming forward. So let's talk about that, right? What was kind of like the brainstorming for advertising for the event?
Um, that's a great question. I gotta be honest. I'm not the most organized person. I kind of just did things. So to
Fair.
start, though, I knew that like this is gonna be a big thing.
Mhm.
Um, I knew I wanted to do trailer by trailer. But also the other thing is, buy some time. I know Azza and I work a lot, and oftentimes that becomes a crunch thing. I try not to do that. It ended up as that anyways. But delaying the announcement of the trailer in favor of trailer per trailer meant we got the live reaction. Oh my god, Area Cup! I saw your stream of that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that inherently draws hype to the event, so it's not just the trailer. Um, but also we wanted to lock down the dates. Like we knew there's this very small window because if we push it too far back, you get the Sendoku season finale,
Yep.
you get the death of Squid Jump or
Squid Junction,
Squid
yeah.
Junction. Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Like it's a packed schedule. If we wait too long, we're gonna get caught by Riptide, all that. We need these dates, and we can't get hit by some kind of other event.
Mhm.
Let's lock this down now. We know that there's gonna be a big new fancy IPL thing, and what better way to do that than a fancy trailer? So that was the thought there.
Okay, nice. So now when it came to, I guess okay, so why a trailer for a trailer and not just a trailer?
Yeah. So my main thing was, this is an event with it's got hype to it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and if you collect the whole community, tell them watch party this here and now,
Mhm.
then that inherently gets people talking, and they were like, "What's this? Wait, why is there? Hold on, why is there a disclaimer? Why is it in Japanese?"
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people
That was
starting to
so
realize,
hype. That
oh,
got
wait,
me
hold
that
on,
gave me chills. Like when I saw that, I was like, what is happening?
it was like a movie. I gotta give credit to Aza, by the way, because like it's so surreal to me, and I've said this like several times already. We made the music. That's not a track that you found online. That's ours. That's custom for the SWS. Like they made the
That's
visuals.
incredible.
They made the music. In what world?
That's next.
Like
That's really next level. Like I don't think anyone's ever done that.
no, I don't think so. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's the last. This guy is different.
Okay, so that makes sense. Trailer for the trailer to basically get like the collective like, hey, like you want to tune in at this time. Then you have, of course, the trailer itself, announcement of this amazing event. Question: the decision to use Pop Gun of to for the kind of voiceover, was that kind of like you had other people in mind, or was like, no, we want Pop Gun? That or the Pop Gun kind of self volunteer like I'm doing this.
So Z wrote long notes, and I hope that this answer's in there because I have no idea. I think Popkin
Uh,
volunteered it.
I think Pop Gun volunteered.
Okay.
I definitely wasn't gonna do it.
I was just so curious because like it just popped in my head now. I was like, wait, like I forgot Popgun was the one that was like the voiceover, so I just had to kind of randomly ask that.
Well, let's find out. So May 21st, he sends a video.
Hmm.
Oh no, he just said I'm gonna do it. He said I'm gonna record a thing tonight, and y'all decide if you want it. Use some parts of it, and then he gave it to us, and we're like, all right, well,
Yeah.
let's get it going.
Amazing. That's like the best way for that to happen. No deciding of who's gonna do it. Just yeah, here it is. I'm doing it, and if you want it, sure. If not, have fun.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, so then trailers completed. We got that going. The idea for the team promotional videos. Take me kind of me behind like the process for that, because for one, like the information that it had, incredible. It was very unique. It was very different. Um, what was it like for one coming up with that idea, and then part two to this question, being able to get that kind of information from like the XP number, the builds for the weapons, etc.
Sorry, can you repeat the first part of the question?
Oh yeah. What was it like coming up with that specific idea for those promotional trailers for like the teams?
Everyone called us out on the first one in a positive light, but oh my god, it's Sync TV. It was on TV. So I was looking back at this old event from 2018, back in the Stone Age, where it was called the Invitational,
Mhm.
and they had these trailers showing builds and clips and whatever, and we were like, "This is really cool," but they're like 2 minutes long, and I know that we all have like not we, a
Most.
lot of you have like the TikTok effect, and 2 minutes probably a little bit too long, so we were like thinking of that format from Ink TV and how do you make this more digestible?
Mhm.
So we tweaked it a little bit, and then we ended up with the event, or not the event, the product that we have now. Obviously, it still very much has the energy of Ink TV, which is an excellent thing in my opinion. But
Mhm.
credit where it's due.
Yeah, I mean, it was so it really gave like it really gave more excitement to it, because you're not only seeing. I feel like it also like it helps a lot of players out who one can look up to these teams and players too, right? Is that like it gives the builds too, and I think that's such a unique feature to have. And that's something that I do want to find out how you came up with that idea for that in just a sec. But yeah, like just being able to, uh, give another opportunity to not only spotlight these teams and players, but continue momentum of the trailer hype of like, hey, like these are the teams that you're gonna have and the players that you may recognize, like that you want to like follow this.
Yeah. Um, like I said earlier, I feel personally that players are a very large part of production,
Mm,
which I said from like a player perspective. Like I want to feel cool, but also like they are great to work off of, especially in this tournament where they are all such high level players. Some of them probably recognizable. Like I put the name Q out there, everyone's gonna know who that is,
yeah.
right? Um, so I felt that once we announced the event a month in advance, we need to keep that hype going, which is why I'm like, all right, what do we do for a whole month? And the answer was right there, and it was trailers, team trailers,
Mm,
because you got a perfect amount of teams. Just run that the whole time. Introduce each team just because they all have their inherent popularity and attention on them. As for like process on the area cup side, the first like three teams, I was like digging through their Twitter. I know for Nagoda, it was a real pain. I like went through streams all the way because they have their own YouTube streams.
okay.
I dug through each stream that they did from July all the way back to January for their Headit build. Um, they this person did not play a single round of Headit on stream for like however many months. But later on, Area Cup started sending us goodbye Z. Started giving us the info for those teams, and that was super helpful. Shout out Roy. On our end, once a team qualified, we just started jumping them. Like if they were in winners finals, they qualified. The second that match was reported on Sendo Inc., send me this list of information,
Mhm.
and then we got that all in. So all around the board, pretty simple. Is just coordinating with the players from whichever TO did beating us area cup.
Okay, nice. Yes, okay. That's really good to be able to have that kind of quick communication and follow up, and get the information at the ready. Can't believe you had to go through so much footage to just get the head at the beginning though.
No, I think at the end we even settled for a clip of them playing Zimmy. We never got a Headit clip.
You know what?
Which, to be
Take what you
fair,
can
they
get.
did play Zimmy.
Okay.
They,
Yeah.
they, they did
Yeah.
play it, so I won.
Yeah. Still would in the end. What was the idea to do that kind of information for the trailers? Because I know most of them, it's kind of like most trailers you see out there. It's just like here's this player, here's a couple cool
Yeah,
clips of them, call it a day. What was the kind of idea to give more than that for these?
yeah. I mean, I've been treating Splat World Series like a spectator sport, right?
Mm,
Um, I can't say like the idea for builds is my idea. Like, frankly, it was just because we looked at TV. They're like, oh, they did this, and this is why they did it. I think that applies here too, because for the top level play, these are players that people look up to,
yeah,
and I'm going to copy their builds because they're the best players of the weapon. They know what
yeah,
they're doing, right? So it's not really our idea to do builds. This is from Ink TV, but the same rationale applies. Like these are popular people. These are good players. Let's drop that information. That's things people care about.
yeah. No, that makes absolute sense to me. Um, give people a little bit more for what they're going to be watching, and yeah, like you said, like these look up to these players, these teams. So at least in the West, maybe more in the Western side, but being able to kind of know like what's going to happen from this event, they can also just peek over on to these Japanese teams. It's like, wow, like these players are so high XP. They have a
Yeah.
lot of skill here. Like maybe I'll try out these builds and see how it fares. So no, yeah, it's definitely a really good addition to it, and again drove more uniqueness to it for from what we've seen before.
Yeah, maybe don't try out all of them. I know I'm gonna guess. I think it was Rusu who was on shot, and their build in the trailer was like 2 main special charge and like object shredder. Maybe don't steal all of them. That might not bring you to 4K XP. Maybe this guy's just good.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but especially for the Japanese teams, we felt that XP was a good way to like introduce the weight of the team.
Mhm.
Like you know, in whatever world you don't know who Lobster is, you see that the XP starts with a 4, maybe it starts with a 5. I don't know, but you know that player is damn good, and
Yeah,
that was our way to keep it concise.
absolutely. I think that was honestly one of the best things to add to it too, because like, of course, viewer perspective, you can only get so much from a name, right? Especially if you don't know them. But that XP does really do a number because most, I feel like, if not all people in the competitive scene, at least know what X Power is. So seeing, like you said, a number that starts with a 4, where most of the players we have in the Western seed, uh, you know, I don't think I think maybe 1 or 2 or 3 have dared break the 4K barrier. Um, it's really like a wow factor.
Yeah, I think it was just Phoenix with 43, and that was NA as well.
Mhm.
Which, not to discredit that, but it's not like in the big region. Yeah. Oh, I guess Jordan had 5600 as well. But most of us, like, the difference was very visible. Like, I think we had one player with 2.5K as well.
Yeah, it's just crazy to have to look and compare, like the difference in that.
Yeah, like, just at a glance, oh wow,
Yeah.
this is a tall order for the best, and so it was.
Yeah. So switching gears a little bit here. Um, Promotions are out. Things are going so swell. Let's talk about qualifiers, running them, the setup, and of course their completion. The whole nine for them. How are we feeling about them? Right. Let's talk a little bit about the befores, the durings, and afters.
Yeah, I'm honestly so surprised we got 30 plus teams for each qual. I thought we were getting 20, maybe like 24
Mhm.
teams, but having like 30, like that was huge for us. Um, and it just proves that like even if you're not the best of the best, it's still something to play for.
Yeah, it's these kind of events I always love seeing pop up more too, like or even like just like the online majors because it really drives a lot of players to kind of come out from there like I'll play one tournament a month or something, or it'll be like I'm just gonna focus on solo queue players or scrims to finally come to like uh a strong competitive environment because there's opportunities, right? And I think that's something that a lot of teams recognize. So they really took both of these qualifiers because I think some teams did enter in both of them, if depending on how they did in the first one. So it's really awesome to see like even after what some of them may have went through there in the first one, they like let's run it back, and these qualifiers really offered opportunities.
Mhm.
Was there any issues that came up during either of the qualifiers that was kind of like worryful, or have it for the most part they both ran so like smoothly?
There was one major complaint, which
Yeah.
were the DC rules.
Okay.
Oh, what?
And
Uh,
initially we went with area cup rules just to try to get people familiar, and then after qualifier one, area cup was like, you know what? Let's actually change what from what we have so to account for like it being like a global event, and there's just naturally going to be more disconnects because they're for context their disconnect rules are really strict.
Mhm.
It's if you DC outside of the first 30 seconds, you can't replay the match. So that's a huge shift from what we normally have. Most teams just gentlemened, which we didn't really interfere with at all.
Yeah.
Um, because we completely understand it. And eventually it got fixed for qualifier too.
I think the
Okay.
other big thing was that because we decided not to play finals or grand finals out, the tournament could be finalized. So the first one, people were
Oh
like,
yeah.
"I want my ranked points." We didn't give them the ranked points because we couldn't finish the tournament.
Yeah.
So to this day, on your Sendo profiles, it doesn't say where you placed. So, oops. But yeah, that was the other problem. Kind of forgot about
Yeah,
the
so
DC thing.
we just made it unranked for the next two, so people wouldn't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, smart call to make it unranked after that. That's right. I think I remember seeing that and like was confused at first. I was like, how come they're not playing Grand? And then obviously like because if you look at how the team like what teams qualify, it doesn't really make sense to play it out when they both qualify anyway. And the seeds would be completely different for the final event, not based on how they finish there. So that makes sense. So qualifiers finish, they're wrapped up and good to go. And now the main event is here. Splat World Series. Any final worries, any final stresses, the excitement you're ready for it? Like, how are we feeling right before the event?
The main worry I had was not waking up in time to do check-in and all of that. Luckily I got up like really early. Because usually I wake up around like 8:30.
Mhm.
So waking up at like 6 o'clock for me so I can do
Lucky you.
check-in.
I'm West Coast. Like,
Yeah, and thankfully I'm East Coast. So Ellie had a completely different situation.
they got my ass good. So I would have gotten up. I would have had to have gotten up at like 4 in the morning for this,
Mhm.
but I decided that was a stupid idea because A, I wasn't gonna wake up, and B, um, I didn't want to like be completely unavailable and still waking up for the hour leading up to the Splat World Series finals.
Yeah.
So I started adjusting my time zone. I decided to like sleep and wake up at like 4 p.m. on the day before, and I just stayed through the whole night.
Wow. That's dedication.
I mean, it was like what had to happen because at the end, like that credits video was rendered maybe 20 minutes before the tournament started.
Oh
Like
Oh
it
wow.
was
yeah,
getting close,
yeah.
so I needed to be awake for that.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. Oh man.
Leading up to finals, I assume this is also a proud question.
Yeah.
That yeah. So after qualifiers, I wanted to make some changes to the overlay. That yeah, Asa, no, I see you. That's all you. Asa fell asleep while making the trailer, and I ended up picking it up the credits video. Like this is maybe 2 in the morning before Star Wars finals, and they're like, "Yo, Willie, I'm so tired." I'm like, "No, I know. Bang this out. Well, you can get it going. Go to bed."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?"
This is
And
nothing.
they were
Love it.
knocked the fuck out. So I ended up doing the rest. That's why like it didn't move and it was not that interesting, but we still got the job done anyways. There was a video and it's presented. So
Yeah, fair, fair enough. As long as it got out there, as long as completed, for the most part, you know what? It's at the end of the day, I feel like Splatoon players. Once the games are over, it's time to find something else to smooth the brain. Um, During the event, and I guess like just did either of you watch the event itself? I imagine so.
no, I didn't.
Well,
Okay.
I did.
Fair. So then, I guess question mainly for you, Z. How did you feel watching the
Wait, what?
event and watching
I was
how
streaming
it
it.
went?
I was joking.
Well, yeah. Ellie was
I
streaming.
know, I'm kidding. But yeah, so like, that's gonna be a whole nother thing too, is like, that perspective. But I guess from the not streaming perspective, and then we'll get at least like just you were in those lobbies. Thoughts on how it was happening, what you were watching, what's going through your mind.
So it was pretty the normal tournament organizing experience. We were just watching round one, hoping that no one had issues. with the language barrier.
Mhm.
And then and then round one happens, and we're like, okay, things are going smoothly. And then we see all of the West teams falling into losers bracket, and we're like, oh no. Um, Eventually, at one point, it got to the point where Popgun and I were debating if like PXG got to losers round three, do we just stream them instead of winners round whatever it was. I think it was quarters. And just be like, okay, we're just gonna stream PXG until they fall. Um, that didn't happen.
Mhm.
So we just went as normal. But yeah, it was a
Okay.
really fun watch overall. Got to talk with
I
some
hope.
people. Got to talk with some people I haven't met before, like Magic and Nine, and that was really fun. So
Nice.
good times.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that the experience for your experience being able to watch that and doing some fun behind the scenes stuff was really cool. Now for you, Ellie, streaming the games and being in the lobby with those players and
Oh
having
my god.
to, you know, your spec cam magic. What about you? What's your experience for this being able to kind of, I guess, be in the moment of it all?
I was so nervous for like the first hour. I was fucking it up bad. It was not good. Um, Combined with okay. So when I'm specting the West, which I'm making a video for this by the way, you can look at my socials later
Mhm.
on how I do spec cam. But the West is like super formulaic. Like, I know exactly where they're gonna be and what they're gonna do until I'm a player, which then I suck. But as a spectator, like, the flow of the game is so clear to me.
Mhm.
I know they're gonna be here, they're gonna do this, they're gonna farm this, and then they're gonna do this, and then they're gonna use this to lock this. They were so fast. I could not keep up with them. If there was any fight that was like spectating the dead body for like 5 seconds, I was just because I was trying to figure out where the hell to go next. If I was in the overhead during a big fight, I didn't know who the hell to pick. They
Mhm.
are so fast. They are so decisive and mechanically like insane. I Yeah, no, it was very hard to adapt. Um,
I mean, I'm so glad you brought that fact up because that's like a whole nother world of something to consider, for this event. Because obviously, like we don't talk too much about it, obviously, because there's just the community's having their little runarounds with the topic right now. But the pacing difference from Western to JP, yeah, spec cam work's got to be insane. Like, and the way you describe it is to just imagine how I felt like it would be. It's just like you kind of just gotta hope you click on the right player in time because they're all doing
nah,
just something that you're not familiar with.
a little bit. I got the hang of it. Like I sent you a clip earlier before the show
Yes,
of
yeah.
of like the rebound shit we're doing, and I started getting the hang of it. I kind of get the idea now, but I don't. Okay, I will weigh on it slightly. I don't think they're faster. I think they are more decisive.
Okay, yeah,
Like
yeah. That makes
the
sense.
West moves fast, but they don't know exactly where they're going,
Mm,
so they take a slight detour. They're moving fast. They're moving up, but they the end spot might be a little bit different, which is like the
mm.
slight decrease.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense because they have I feel like a whole nother level of understanding of the game than some of our best teams do right now, and that's just
Yes,
because the experience they're able to put into the game.
I will weigh into Discourse one more time. We should play Turf War.
Bring back turf. All right, so we'll speed the things a little forward. The event is wrapping up. How we feeling? End credits roll. Successful SWS. How we feel?
Is he?
Yeah, I think we did a great job. Of course, like we want the Western teams to do a bit better, but it's not entirely their fault.
Yeah.
For most of them, it's their first time um dealing with playing Japan in the
Mm.
first place. So it's expected, and also most of them are waking up at 8 a.m. in the morning or earlier. So um, uh, I wouldn't say it's expected, but
I would.
um, but Yeah, Ellie predicted no West team made top 8, so there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
put my
you were
put my
right.
receipts on screen. Get me up there. Hold on. Let me get a screenshot.
Here we
Um,
go. Absolutely. Hold on. We'll put this on stream. I got you.
I this is a response to Toyobin saying FT win top 4. I'm like, in what fucking world? I'm sorry. I like these players. They're cool to watch. They've always been like, something to look forward to.
Putting
This
your,
is not happening.
putting your post
Um,
right above you.
no, I'm seeing like there was no way that we were going to make top 8.
Mhm.
And personally, I'm fine with that. I think
Yeah.
this is the first time we've gotten to have this kind of playing field in such a long time. And I think it's to be expected that we were going to get a little bit dumpstered. A
Mhm.
little bit being an understatement, but we got shitted on, and I think that's okay. Um, I'm very grateful that we are having this large conversation. Okay, how do we not have that happen? Right?
Yeah.
Like, all I could have ever asked for out of this event was, everyone now is collectively working on the mission. How do we not lose? And people are like thinking, how can we practice? Which is why I want to play Turf 4, by the way.
Question kind of expanding on that. What does Turf War bring to the table that maybe most players don't see? But it's because their mindset is, oh, it's Turf War, it's 3 minutes, it's pointless.
Yes. And I was on the same boat for a very long time, and my eyes were open this weekend. So there was a match on Xi and Ely where we were fighting, right?
Mhm.
And then the zone was capped in favor of Team A, and then they were fighting in the or sorry, is the zone is favored or like in the capped by Team B, and then Team A was on the other side of the zone that they didn't have, and they were fighting Team B behind them in
Mhm.
their own base. And what I think Turf War does is, there is no like static objective. It doesn't tell you where to go. Where you go is up to you to
Mhm.
decide. And I think that free form like mode is helpful because we were talking a little bit about teams and their pacing earlier, and it was more about like being indecisive. Not that they were slow; they were not slow at all.
Mhm.
So a mode that forces you to figure it out for yourself instead of moving along to the objective, I think would help like people further understand where they're meant to go and why.
Okay, that's a honestly a better way of looking at it and trying to get use out of it because I feel like everyone sees it right and like we mentioned like there's just things like oh it's just paint it and the only the last 30 seconds matter but really in a practicing standpoint and especially in like a tournament setting your goal is to find a way that's going to really solidify your positioning and kind of your ability to move around the map and like you said like not have an exact direction to go but like being able to accomplish what in a sense it wants you to do, right? Is that have the most pay on turf available while also being able to find ways to keep the enemy at bay.
Yeah. Like, personally, I hate playing Turf War, and I haven't touched it since like 2022. I will not be playing any tournament that has Turf War. That being said, I
You
will
should play turf
subject all
war.
of you to the horrors. Yes, you should play Turf War. I don't want to play Turf War. Rules for thee, but not for me. Um, yeah, I hate it as a mode. I hate playing it, but I think it has benefits that we would be picking up on, and I think that makes it worthwhile. So for the players that don't like playing Turf War, they don't like really like there's players that don't play anything outside of skill caps and they're just here to have a good time and
Yeah.
fair play to them. This isn't for them. I'm not saying we should put Turf 4 into your tournaments. Like I think Z we are not putting Turf 4 into FTIU ever. Toma would have me shot. Um Not happening. But for the best of the best and the people that want to keep pushing up and punching higher, I think that this is an adaptation that they should be making.
Okay. I mean, I like it. I think it would be cool to see a tournament out there, give it a shot. I'd love to see what the signups would look like and maybe evolve into. But that's for someone to
I
dare to try out.
Yeah, I might be too woke and we may get 0 signups, but that's where my mind is at. Rutella would be there. That's my goat right there.
Yeah. What are the future? I mean, obviously, maybe it's too soon to ask, and obviously you could say if it is. future for SWS? Question
Uh,
mark.
all I will say is that we are brainstorming right now what to do.
Okay.
There probably won't be another SWS in this current format
Mm-hmm.
for at least the next 6 months, most likely a year.
No,
Honestly,
are,
completely
I
understandable.
said veto. Um,
but we
um,
are brainstorming how to use this staff team in the
yeah.
meantime.
I know we can't share specifics, but I can
Mhm.
say where my mind is at. Um, so for one, Splat World Series finals, I will never do that more than annually. That is a veto. I will straight up not show up. That's not happening. I'm so firm on this decision. Like
Yeah.
the same way that I don't want to talk shit about Super Jump, but I like me as a spectator, I've never been interested in it, and I think making it more frequently recurring made me even less interested in it.
Mhm.
So to preserve the intrigue of the event, I like just off of that alone, I never wanted to be more than a year. But now, after seeing the entire Western scene get completely dumpstered, I'm thinking, okay, we should definitely only do 1 year at the
Mhm.
most. But what we should be doing in the meantime isn't more Splat World Series. It should be some kind of event that we're discussing, but something to nurture growth in our scene,
Yeah.
something to continue to interact with people in the East over in Japan. Like we want to keep growing our players, and eventually, Splat World Series 2 rolls around, we have a fighting chance. Maybe more than one game is taken by us.
Okay. I like it, and I'm honestly like that's probably the best answer to get in for what's to come, and I really do enjoy hearing that. Um, I mean, you all have such combine you two as well, and just the entire staff that you guys have together, like have put on just such an incredible event, and overall has been really exciting. I could tell you from the spectator POV to just follow along. It was really cool sometimes to just tune into like social media, whether it was Blue Sky or Twitter, and see like the team trailers and just being able to see like what's coming up. I love um the expansion of bringing on. I think it was the beep that they had their like analytical
Yeah.
section that they love to do. So that was really cool. So bravo to both of you, and of course the rest of the staff that put on just such an incredible event. And honestly, I think I can agree with you there that if this happened more than yearly, it would feel a little much. And like you said, the West pretty much got like put back in the trash can, lid closed tight. Like they need time to figure it out. Like I think a year is a appropriate amount because that's plenty of time to take what's being discussed in the community right now and really build off of it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'm certain Z feels the same, but I would more than love to come back to this. I would love to run another one. But, time to place, and I want the West to look damn good, and I want us to improve in this next year.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to, or rather, we are working on preparing. All right. Well, let's see if this comes to fruition or not. I
Yeah.
want to prepare
We
resources and events that
Mm-hmm.
help us grow, so that next time we stand more of a chance.
Yeah. Besides SWS, how about for both of you? What's next for either of you in the future, whether it's the near future or the next maybe couple months? Like what's exciting, what's coming up, what's your eyes set on?
don't have anything planned. Uh,
That's okay.
so
That's okay.
Come to my land. August 16th. I did a really shit job at advertising it because I was busy with SWS, so my
Mhm.
signups are gonna look like shit. But you can come to Vancouver, British Columbia on August the 16th for Vancouver World 2, or I think we called it Summer 23rd, but Vancouver World 2. Play on
You
land. It'll be cool.
Is there any social media posts about it?
Yes, but it flopped like so hard.
If you'd like, feel free to toss that in the chat. I'd love to be able to help promote that as well because I love land and I do feel that support your land, support your locals.
Yeah, we have the passport debuff where we're Canadians, so half the country can't come up here. But
So true.
sea battle, my goats, they will show up. We'll see.
All right, exciting, exciting. Something to look forward to. Is there a stream for it, by the way?
Uh, oh yeah, it's me.
Just had to just to check because I always love to watch the land streams as well, catch the atmosphere.
I will be there no matter what. Yes, yes. Punchy's in the chat now. I want to add on this for the Splat World Series Finals before we head off here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's like doom posting about the West getting shitted on by everyone in Japan. We somehow missed that Frutella 2-0'd Milky Way, and it wasn't that close.
Yeah, you know what's
Like,
funny? I watched whose stream was it? I think it was Jared streaming, and I saw that watched that POV, and I remember the minute I saw it, like if you find my reaction stream, you will catch the moment where like I talked about it for a moment, and I had to post it on Blue Sky because like that was crazy, and I don't think
yeah,
I agree. No one is giving the flowers to Frutella for that because that was insane to have happen, and of
yeah.
course just the magnitude of the event just kind of overlooked it, but like
Mhm.
if this was like an in the zone tournament, that's massive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That gets more attention.
That'd be Talking Town.
Yeah.
This is a great segue though, because last night I just casted. Well, not me. Hell no, I'm not casted. But I had that set casted by K-Bot and Top Gun. We just watched over Frutella versus the Milky Way, and that will be going up for Spiral Series Rewound, our series going back and watching the matches that weren't streamed. So that's something for everyone to look forward to. But it was a great set, and those very well played by Frutella.
I definitely have to keep an eye out for that. And also love the actually I do want to poke about that idea. Completely forgot about that because I think when I wrote these questions, like I completely went over my head that y'all were doing that. The idea to go back and commentate matches missed, like that's incredible. Where did that come from?
That's all
I said
Ellie.
I just had vibes. I'm like,
You
all
just
right.
had
So
the
originally
vibes.
I wanted like 4 streams on this shit, and they said you're insane, and they're right. I was insane, but I didn't want to miss out on the action. So I'm like, all right, what can we do after the fact? And then the answer's clear: just cast it.
Yeah. And we also just have a huge replay code database that's just out there now.
Yes, today we just finished the database. Every single
Oh,
code from the Splat World
nice.
Series is in.
Oh, that's so good. I have to take a look at it. There's some replay codes I want to watch because I'm shocked. Shot was played. Sorry, I'm a shooter player. What do you expect from me?
Oh my god, come on. Let me put the shit that yeah, go. I'm glad Punchy that people are liking it. Go, everyone, go like the posts. It like super flopped. I got like, it went as Ozzy would say. It went cardboard or whatever they say.
It's
It was
kind
terrible.
Yeah,
Yo,
drop the link to that as well.
yeah,
I'm
I got
definitely
you.
gonna like save it just so I could check them out now that everything's in there.
Yeah,
That's
our first
incredible.
episode went up, and this is the link to it. I'm putting it in the chat, and I'm putting it in our guest chat. Here you go,
Amazing.
and here you go. Yeah, look at these shot builds. Put that shit up there.
Thank you so
What was that?
much.
Only on
Oh,
Cyber Series Rebound.
Okay, well, my Discord's having a what?
Yeah, I'm saying.
yeah.
So we just
Yeah.
don't like finishing gear on shirts. Okay.
No, not even that the gear slots are blank. They didn't have the gear slots.
Yeah, like
Unlocked in
we
the
just
first place.
I guess you just don't need them. Like
No, apparently not. They lost, but so they might have.
yeah,
But
I mean wow. Object Shredder is crazy to me, but I can see why.
yeah,
Um
they picked it for human and their crab. So
yeah, no, smart play.
good if I have
Um
wood instead of cardboard.
yeah, wow. Dude, that's I don't know if I can I don't know if I can I need that's crazy. That feels just crazy to me. Oh man. All right, well, this is the next section of the podcast where we're kind of
Yeah,
closing it off. But this is the time I'd love to get pass the mic over to the guests or guest or however many. So two of you go up, get the mic here, and say any final thoughts, final conclusions, anything you want to say. Give any shout outs that you want to give out. Like the floor is completely yours. Please take it away.
crickets. Take this
Okay.
opportunity to play the soundboard that Ozzy wanted me to. Hold on. Where are we? The fucking
But we've been on hiatus.
there you go. You're welcome, Ozzy.
Amazing. All right, Z, you feel free to go
Um,
first.
yeah. Um, thank you to everyone, obviously, who's been a part of this event, whether you were a player, a spectator, on staff. It means a lot to be a part of what is potentially the most stacked Western involved event that's not run by Nintendo. Um, And yeah, that's pretty much go for vote me for community figure of the year if you haven't already done voting for that for the Inkstand Awards. That'd mean a lot to me.
We will be there
Yeah.
no matter what.
And Z, where can the people find you if they want to keep up with what you're doing?
You can find me at I'm z.bsky.social. That is imxi.bsky.social, or I'm_z on Discord.
Awesome. And Ellie, you're up. Floor's yours.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take this moment to give a shout out to our staff as well. Like, obviously, it might have been a small team, but still, every person, we all, or sorry, let me phrase this right. Like, we had a small team, so every single person, they put in like a crazy amount of work to make this show happen, and props to them. Them being, obviously Popcorn and Z doing most of the work up top, coordinating the area cup, logistics of the event. But then we have people like Toasty, who's very seasoned TO, running Ludi, Super Jump, whatever, weighing in with their thoughts. And then Saf and Liz helping us find commentators for the whole event. Like, thank God that wasn't me this time, or I'd be in another complaint doc about a tournament. They hated me for SAC. Yeah, and on Area Cup side, sorry, I need to remember the names. I know Roy and Vital and Yaucha, and there's one more I need to find. Sort of, is it Miru or is it Mira? It's one of them. But everyone at Area Cup, it was a pleasure working with them, and I'm very glad that we were able to work together on putting on such an event. On broadcast, that like counterpick thing on like on the match, like the break screen, that shit was so cool. That was all Inkfair. Inkfair, brought that concept into existence. And it was more than just Inkfair on the broadcast. I had listened to my IRLs. I had Sasabi, who worked on the Ink TV League, make that broadcast for us for finals. And then my last and largest shout out is to Aza, who did the brand design of the event, and with me did all of the graphics, trailers. No, not me. I didn't do the trailers. I did team trailers. That the big ones that mattered. That was Aza. And the music, like the video, everything on that, Sukizawa. So that's my biggest shout out.
And where can the people find you if they want to keep up with what you're doing next?
I got the Blue Sky. It's a Blue Sky Elemental. I don't really have takes of note. I also have a Twitter, but that's mostly gotcha retweets, so don't look there. I'm on another panel, which if I got $1 for every panel I was on this week, it'd be 2. I'm on a panel talking about broadcast production for the Summer Splash something. I don't remember. I'm not doing a favor, but happy to talk about production there. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Come to my land. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, both of you, thank you so much for not only coming onto the podcast and giving your insights and your takes and just what you've been able to do for this event, but being able to create such I really feel like a masterpiece in this scene that hasn't been that the likes haven't been seen before. I mean, was a beautiful event to watch, to constantly follow, and I'm sure I speak for many that are either currently or listening once this VOD's up on the YouTube. Can't wait to see what the future holds for this event, and of course for what holds for you two in the future. So truly, thank you so much for all you do and for being here, just talking about it. It's been so much fun. This has been a great hour 20 and such. So truly, thank you. But with that, that's gonna do it from us here on the Cactus Patch. I want to thank all of you for watching and or listening, whichever you decide to do. It's not much to watch on the screen besides, I guess, Ellie's profile picture moving and the funny image we toss on screen. But truly, thank you all so much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
But we've been on
Goodbye.
hiatus.
Bye.